Hey friends, today I'm going to show you how to switch your Brother SE600 from embroidery to sewing mode, and if you stick around to the end I'll give you some tips about choosing a thread type when you're sewing and some basics on getting started. First up we got to switch out the tray, little handle underneath you can pull here, slide that sucker off, and we're going to put the sewing tray on. Next you want to take your little flathead tool here, we can use a flathead screwdriver, and we're going to take off the embroidery foot. Alright, so now grab your sewing foot attachment, and I chose the J presser foot, it's just the straight stitch foot, and get those two guys hanging out together, and we'll just slide this guy right under the screw and tighten him up. So last up, we just gotta plug in the gas pedal, and if your machine's already threaded, you are good to go. But if it's not threaded, or maybe you're not sure what type of thread you need to be using, I'll go into that here. So on the right, I have machine embroidery thread, and on the left, I have cotton all-purpose. So you can see the cotton thread blends quite nicely here when you use it for stitches versus the shinier polyester thread, which tends to stick out, might make your stitches more obvious. So I'm going to go for the cotton thread here. And what we're going to do is wind up a fresh bobbin with some of this cotton thread. We're going to follow the dashed lines, 1, 2, 3, take the end of that, and we're just going to wind this a couple of times around an empty bobbin. You should have gotten some extras of this with your sewing machine. And once you've got maybe 5 or 6 turns, we're going to plug them in on top in the clockwise direction, slide it across, and put your foot to the floor. So this guy will spin up. Once it starts getting full, it should slow down until it basically stops. You can take your foot off, and we'll cut this guy off. So if you're not sure how to get the bobbin threaded, I'll show you right here. We're gonna push this little button, take his cover off, pull our old one out, and we're gonna want to put the new one in anti-clockwise or counterclockwise. And take the thread, and it's going to go beneath this little hook with the arrow in it. We're going to pull it to the side. Might want to use your other hand to just keep the bobbin still. And bring them around, and there's a little blade in here. If you pull against it, it'll cut him off. Just like that. Put his cover back on. And now we just have to thread the top thread. So this time we're going to follow the solid line. So 1, 2, around number 3, back up again, staying to the right hand side, and then we're gonna pull him to the left around this hook, all the way down past 5, and then with 6 it's gonna tuck in right behind that triangle there. Should kind of make a little bit of a sound when you get it in place. Up to the left around 7, around to 8, and then push down on 9 to thread the needle. I like to just grab some scissors to pull this thread through from the hoop. You're all set up. So let's turn the sewing machine on, check out what kind of stitches we can do. So the first one we've got is a straight stitch with this double dash line, just like that one too, which means if you press the U-turn button, it's going to do a reverse stitch for you. So if we press the one on the screen, actually, every time we start the stitch, it's going to do 3 stitches forwards, 3 stitches backwards, and then continue stitching on, which will just make our stitches way stronger. So let's see what that looks like. I've got a piece of scrap fabric here that I can just test on. So we go 1, 2, 3 forwards, 1, 2, 3 back, and then we go forwards from here. And this is just from pressing the foot pedal down. When we finish our stitch, we press the reverse button, and it'll push us back 3, and then forwards 3. We'll raise the needle, raise the presser foot, and just cut these threads off. So there you go, guys. That's sort of the basics of how to sew with the Brother SE600. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, drop a comment down below. And if you found this helpful, I'd appreciate a like and subscribe if you're interested in more content like this.